But yeah, folks, we'll move on to our next story, right, Paul? This is an interesting one for you, buddy, as well.
Okay.
Live action R-rated Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie. Let's fucking go! Right, yeah, the last Ronin is being made into a live adaptation.
So I've never heard of this.
Yeah.
Oh,
right,
wait till you hear what this is about, Badger. You'll be fucking on board with this, bro.
Okay,
so
okay.
I'm going to be totally honest here, right? And shame on me. I haven't read this book, but I know what the story is. I know the spoiler in the book that I don't think we should reveal here.
No.
Yeah. No. We won't get into that bit because I don't think Andy. I'm not sure if you're aware of this.
I'm aware of the cultural significance of this. And I have read a bit about it, but yeah, I don't know what happens.
Yeah, we won't spoil it because if you don't know the crack with this book, it's mint. It's hellish. The concept to it's awesome.
Yeah.
But live action R-rated Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, man. Like after watching Mutant Mayhem last year and that film,
man.
I am a huge fan of it.
Yeah, man.
You know, when you go to your list afterwards, when you do like your top 10 or whatever, and you look at it like 2 months later and you go, yeah, that wouldn't be the same. Yeah, it really wouldn't. Like Teenage Mutant Mayhem from last year was just absolutely phenomenal. And I think it shows that movie didn't make a shit ton of money, but it made enough money for these guys to be like, yeah, there's still invested interest in Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. So this is coming from Walter Hamada, which he's just a producer that was quite famous in like I think he was running Warner Brothers, if I'm not mistaken, for a couple of years when the DCU was going on. But yeah, man, this story is so cool. If I'll just leave people who are listening to look into it, or maybe just go and buy the book, which I am going to do 100% now. But yeah, not only is it going to be live action, it's going to be R-rated as well, which I find interesting. So they are sort of putting all the eggs in the basket for this one a little bit, as far as, you know, maybe taking a gamble. This could be a little bit of a gamble, but it's a cool as fuck story. I'm about it. I'm 100% mega yes for this. This was only announced a couple of hours ago, so this is brand new, this story. But after the success of last year's animated hit film Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutant Mayhem, Paramount Pictures is keeping Turtle Power going by putting a new feature project in development. This one, however, will go beyond the realm of ages material the long-standing property is known for, and instead go into gritty R-rated territory. Now, if I'm not mistaken, the earlier comics, Paul, like when they were black and white, weren't they quite edgy and more R-rated than the show and film afterwards? But yeah, Paul, what do you think of this one? This one's an exciting one, man. I can't wait.
I'm there day one. The best way I can describe The Last Ronin is a bit like The Dark Knight Returns from Batman. It's a story that's geared towards people who grew up with these characters and have aged with these characters. So this is The Last Ronin. It ain't for people who are just getting into the Ninja Turtles. It's for people who grew up with them as kids, and they've now made this story more mature. They've aged it for people who grew up with it and they want a bit more of a mature story with these characters that they grew up loving. The best way, I don't really want to talk about the story because it's a bit, there's twists and turns in it that I don't want to spoil. But that's sort of like what the ingenious of the story is. It's basically the character you've got on the cover there, you don't know which turtle it is, and that's sort of the gist of the story.
Yeah,
like you don't know what turtle you're following or why, and then the story's getting pieced together as you're reading it. So it is a gritty story. It's more of an adult, mature take on the Ninja Turtles, so it will be R-rated. There is swearing and blood and heads getting chopped off, very samurai-ish, Shogun era of Japan, obviously with the title Last Ronin. This is awesome. I mean, we've just had that Mutant Mayhem, which I love, but that isn't geared towards kids. It's a family film. Anyone can watch it. That's more geared towards kids. But I like that they know they're not. It's a bit like X-Men '97. They know there's fans that grew up with these characters and will invest their time back into it. So they want to capture that market as well, because I believe they're making a video game of The Last Ronin as well. I'm pretty sure they're gearing up a video game for it as well. So it's
Yeah, they were. I think the studio that was making the game has went under. So I don't know whether that game is cancelled, but they didn't have a trailer for it as well.
I think they had like a little like quick
Teaser.
like announcement
Yeah.
teaser, but still, so they know that there's money in it. I think it was one of the best-selling comic graphic novels of 2021 or 22 when it came out. I can't remember what year it was.
It made waves when it came out.
Yeah, it really did. Yeah, and I'm excited for it. R-rated Turtles film, man. If they can make it feel like that 90s one, but a more up-to-date modern version of that, I'll be there day one, man.
What do you reckon? CGI suits or practical suits for the turtle?
That's it. Like I think it'll be CGI, but they need to bring that CGI down. It can't be like what they were when they're Michael Bay ones. It needs to be a better CGI. I need to believe that these characters are real, and I don't with them Michael Bay films because they're just so outlandish.
Yeah.
Big
turtles.
I think kind of what Paul was saying there about that they're gonna, like, if the comic was aimed at people probably our age, probably guys in their like maybe 30s, maybe even 40s that grew up with the Turtles in the 80s and 90s, then it's important to get the tone right. And I think the way they present the turtle or the turtles on screen is important. And I think the practical route is the practical effects is like the trend just now anyway, but that way it ties it back to those original movies, so it kind of ties into the nostalgia. It's the kind of fan service element for guys like that. Was my first film at the cinema, was the 1990 Turtles. So I'm banging their like audience kind of demographic there, and I would appreciate that because it would feel like a tribute and a kind of homage has been made to the originals. But I just think that given this is a more mature story, that I'd imagine the action is going to be the choreography is going to be important and stuff. So I think, the more grounded and realistic it is with practical suits, the better. I think the more CGI and practical CGI they use, you lose the kind of visceralness of it.
What I will quickly say as well is that on the cover, well, in the book as well, it says introduction by director Robert Rodriguez. He's a massive Turtles fan, and he sort of talks about the impact of the book and the characters in the first couple of pages. There's your director. Yeah, that'd be awesome if they got him on board for it.
Yeah, what a good shout.
I was going to ask you, Paul, while you were talking about it. I assumed this was maybe like a mid-90s comic, but it's actually just a few years ago. Is that right?
Yeah, I think it was literally like 21, 22. I think it was all collected together.
This is one of these beloved ones from like years ago. I didn't realize it was fairly recent.
Yeah, but Badger, what do you think about this one, mate?
I got no real thoughts other than it sounds goddamn good. Give it my way.